I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and zero weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 7 plant protein bars, 4 hydration mixes, and 4 enhanced coffee sticks. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Go to eatiqbar.com and enter code BAR20 to get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping. Again, go to eatiqbar.com and enter code BAR20.
I don't really think that there is a queer haircut. It's whatever fucking haircut you're wearing if you're queer. And you should focus on, just living your best queer life.
Love
the
that.
Haircut, though, can help you, get laid, which I feel like is big on the queer agenda.
Beyond cis male, cis female, non-binary, trans male, there are more.
They're swimming in the gender soup
of different experiences.
Gender is like a marker of time. Thinking critically about what inclusion means.
So much of womanhood is tied to whiteness, is tied to thinness.
How do I identify myself? Faggot.
Non-binary.
As femme as humanly possible.
I'm a cisgender gay man.
A binary trans woman.
Theatrical and flamboyant.
Dykes who identify as twinks.
A gender conscientious objector.
I just kind of forget that I have a body.
Drag helped me unlock the power of my femininity within a masculine persona.
Transitioning when you're older,
it opens up an entire world of possibilities.
I bloomed. I blossomed.
Comfortable in my physical body for the first time in my whole life.
Existing
in a more nuanced way.
In thought, in imagination, in fantasy.
My gender in my head feels like the cosmos. Just fully unknowable, even to myself.
I wasn't trying to be a gender. I wasn't trying to be a race. I was trying to be a point of energy in the universe.
That's amazing.
I love that.
Allie, in this interview, I learned something new about you that I didn't know before, which is my favorite thing. I love when we genuinely learn new things about each other in these interviews. I learned that tea has changed the texture of your hair, which I didn't know before.
Yeah, it really has. My hair has a much coarser texture to it and has some curls in it. And it used to just be bone wispy straight.
Wow. Was it blonde or have you always been a brunette?
No, unlike every other white person you've ever met, I don't have a story about how I was once blonde.
No, I literally assumed. I was I don't know. Sometimes when people see their hair turns brown at some point and they get really upset about it. I don't know.
No, yeah. It was always this color, but yeah, then tea really changed it though. But yeah, I loved this convo that we're having today on this episode because I also really vividly remember my first queer haircut.
Okay, wait, tell me. Paint a scene. Tell me about it.
Okay, so I grew up a tomboy with a literal bowl cut. And then that was such a harrowing existence that I then grew my hair out super long. And only had long hair for a super long time. So it wasn't until I want to say 2017 or something that I got a shorter haircut. And I was like, oh my gosh. I just felt incredible.
Oh,
yeah.
No, I love that because one thing about it is when I get new hair, it's I'm a new bitch. I'm a new bitch. I'm a new person. And I love getting my hair and my braids done every 2 months and just coming up with a whole new style because it's a story. My hair right now is really long and my joke is I'm giving capital G girl. I'm such a girl with my hair like this. And it's so, and I'm literally a natural born redhead. This is my hair.
Yeah.
And so I love it as a way to kind of remake your identity, when you just need a change. And I feel our guest today is the expert of what they kind of call main character cuts because they are just bomb ass queer haircuts. And, hair is so important to us as queer people because it helps us express our identity. And
totally.
This person has so many amazing thoughts on that.
I really appreciated you in this interview because I do feel we got into a much more nuanced conversation that wasn't just like short hair, mask,
Right.
long hair, you know, you were
Totally.
just like, oh, I love getting this type of hair and I really enjoyed the, you know, like,
Yeah.
so that was really cool.
No, totally. I mean, I think we try to get out of the conversation of just like, you know, I feel like for white people, like queer haircuts are just kind of bad haircuts, if I'm being honest.
Oh, micro bangs? You don't like
Right. No, listen, bitch, I love a micro bang. Like a Beyonce micro bang era when she's like wearing that fucking wig. But no, I think we were able to have like a much more nuanced conversation about hair. And Alys, or, you know, also known as Big Al, is just like an absolute hair genius. So it was such a joy. It was such a privilege to talk to them.
My name is Alys Aurora, also known as Big Al. I am the person behind Studio Botanicum, which is a private hair studio in Brooklyn, New York. And my pronouns are they, them.
This is always a little bit of an abrupt first question, but what has your journey been like, you know, coming to embody kind of your current gender identity today?
Let's see. How far back do we go? No, I feel like it's kind of, it was just like one of those like pipeline things. And where I'm at now is just gender free, really. So
Cool.
I feel like non-gendered.
Yeah.
I don't feel attached or attracted or really have any, I don't know, interest or investment in any particular gender on a day-to-day basis. So that's where I am. I feel like I'm post-gender. And I don't know, you know, that might not last forever either, right?
Yeah, totally.
But where I'm at with it right now is, I'd say also being around so many people who are in constant conversation and like with their gender has made me think, oh, I relate to that, or I don't relate to that. And so
Totally.
I feel like I've gotten like a good feel for what the feelings are and what they could be, which I think was like the first step of being like, where am I on this journey?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm pretty comfortable here.
Is that like, you think, being in Brooklyn or being in hair?
I think that combination probably being in hair and having my particular like clientele, because I don't think everybody in hair is like having those conversations or whatever. Like, I don't think so.
Yeah, totally. When you say like pipeline things, are you talking about like being like a tomboy growing up, being a lesbian, being...
Yeah, I feel like I had like a femme moment of like, yeah, thanks, you know? And that's great. And I felt like that was like the truest embodiment in the moment, because I was just like, I don't know, this is how I dress. I'm not going to like switch it up or whatever. Like, this is fine. Yeah, and then I was kind of like, okay, I'm maybe like don't really identify as particularly femme. But I'm also not opposed to people feeling that energy from me. Yeah. And then I think I swung real hard in the other direction. Not real hard, but like I swung pretty hard in the other direction. And I was like, okay, like what's it giving? I'm butch now or whatever. Baby butch, soft butch. And again, I was like, I don't know, maybe we'll try it on. But like, I'm also not mad if that's the energy that you're receiving from me. And yeah, just kind of landed in like, it's so funny. It kind of like doesn't really matter what I think about it. It's kind of making peace with people's perception.
That's interesting. Like, you feel like whatever people are getting from you, like you feel fine and comfortable with that.
It's all right.
Yeah. I like that. I feel like I haven't heard that as much before, but I think that's like
it's literally not how people feel. So
it's literally not how most people
definitely
feel.
not being like, you should do that, like to people or whatever without their consent. But like, I feel like that's just for me, for my understanding of like the world, or like how people just gender and how people perceive each other and what that perception means and how it comes to be. I'm like, I'm not going to get deep down into the work of trying to control people's perception of me. It's really like not my business.
Wow. That's kind of how I feel as well. I actually really relate to that, where I'm just like, I'm only really going to do that kind of work with the people who are really important to me. Otherwise, it's just like not really worth my time.
Exactly.
Do you feel like you always felt that way, even growing up? Or were there times when you like struggled against like people's perceptions of you and things like that?
Growing up, I was definitely like a little pretty princess, like doll archetype child that was like, don't get dirty and keep your legs closed and sit like this and wear a dress or whatever.
Me
so
too.
I was like raised like hyper feminine and all the shit that goes with that. So I feel like when I started even thinking about gender, I was like, well, definitely not that. Definitely the opposite of that. Like, don't call me a girl. I don't know. I was really feeling it, but it was also because I had not positive associations with femininity and just womanhood in general. So I was kind of like, I'm trying to break away from that kind of thing. I didn't feel like it was particularly rebellious, but I feel like I was talking to people, like close friends of mine, and being like, this is how I'm feeling. If you can't like validate that, then like we're going to have problems, you know?
Mm-hmm. Right.
But I feel like you only kind of have to do that once with people to be like,
yeah.
And either it works and you're like, okay. And they're like, I've always, yeah, you're whatever, you know, like, yes, all of that, you know, like, what do you want us to do? Let's do it. Or you have people that are like, huh? What do you mean? You know, and it's like, okay, well, we're not going to be able to go further on this journey together because I'm going to switch it up again and I don't need that negative energy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So no, I didn't always feel like so detached. I feel like a healthy detachment now from gender. But I definitely had times where I was like, this means something, you know?
Yeah.
Now I'm kind of like, does it?
Right. Does it really?
You know, and for everybody, it's different.
It just seems really peaceful.
It does seem really peaceful and like regulated.
Yeah. I think like there's something that happens when you first are kind of like, I'm non-binary, use they, them, where like even like a server just literally doing their job at a restaurant is like, hey ladies, and you're like, that ruined my day. And like that's unsustainable disappointment.
Yeah.
It really is. And I feel like I don't think there was ever a point where I was hoping that people that didn't know me would perceive me how I wanted them to versus how they did. But it was important to me that the people that already know me and that are close to me in my life have some inkling or concept of like my gender feelings. Because like if you don't know me, what the fuck, you know, what am I going to expect? Like you literally don't know me.
Yeah.
And this is our society or whatever. So
right.
Is what it is. I'm not going to be like, I can't fall all over myself every time someone projects their feelings and experiences onto me or whatever.
Yeah.
But my friends and people that know me or people I'm in community with, I'm like, I expect better from you guys.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think I have felt the exact same way. I don't want to put this on you, but I guess I've felt worried that it's like not the PC like take on it just because every trans person has a unique experience of gender, but I truly have felt the exact same way. But I think, I don't know, maybe some of my more like binary trans friends have felt like a little differently or like, you know, but I'm just like, I actually like don't really care that much. Going to a restaurant, I don't really expect them necessarily to get my pronouns correctly because they don't know me. But do I want everyone in the world to like be validated in their gender and feel safe? Like, absolutely. Maybe it's also just like the multiple layers of oppression where I'm just like, I just do not expect anything from strangers, I guess maybe is what it is. Like, I assume like strangers kind of hate me. Like, I guess I'm just like, I think strangers
kill me.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, I kind of expect you to hate me. Right. Let alone get my pronouns correctly. Where I don't know, maybe it's like white, more binary trans folks where it's like, that's like kind of their first foray into like oppression. And it's like very devastating to like not be recognized. But it's like, oh, I don't expect anything from anyone. But then when people do expect things from people, like I expect everyone to get my pronouns correctly, I'm like, oh my God, that's so cool. I just don't think I expect anything from anybody ever. I'm like,
yeah, I think it's like, it's cute. It's like sweet.
Yeah. Are we going to get canceled?
Really? Finally, we can rest.
Exactly.
Gosh,
No,
I
exactly.
did my research. What if you guys are already canceled? I'm like,
no,
oh no, exactly.
You guys are like deeply, deeply canceled.
We're post-canceled.
This was the one. I heard this quote this past week that was really cool to me, and it was this kind of like trans elder talking about bridge building with like maybe, you know, this isn't like in our own community, this is like the rest of the world kind of stuff. And it was like, if you can step towards your discomfort, I can step away from my pain and we can be in the middle. And I was like, wow, that's really beautiful and sweet. And this kind of is giving me that vibe of just like, I'm not really like married to my pain. You can see me however. We don't have to start from a place of me being like, you misgendered me. It can be like, I have a little bit more understanding for you. Maybe that comes from like, I have lower expectations
right.
of you on site. But hey, if it gets us there.
Yeah.
I think that everyone, hot take, that makes it seem like when we're talking about like our community, other communities, and like this kind of like us and them type of thing, queer people are terrible with each other's pronouns.
Yeah.
Famously terrible with each other's pronouns. I mean, we can't remember each other's names and shit, or like where your face is from or whatever. So it's like, I think it's more in terms about like language and like inclusivity. I feel like it's been more about like, you don't even need to use people's pronouns that often. How often do you need to use people's fucking pronouns?
No, exactly.
I always find it so weird when I'm with someone. I have a friend that like, an ex-friend kind of, she would constantly use my pronouns or use pronouns for me while I'm in the room. Who does that? But I feel like cis people do that though a lot.
Yes.
They're talking about, I don't know what, is it third person or whatever? It's like they're talking about you while you're there. Like, she's something or da-da. And I'm like, why are you saying that?
Right.
I don't even ask people their pronouns because I'm not going to use them in casual conversation. When would I be using your pronouns?
Also, like, keep my name out your mouth. Keep my name out your mouth. You shouldn't be talking about me at all. Exactly.
Yeah, if I'm talking to you, like say my clients, in what world, when you come in to get a haircut, am I using your pronoun?
Yeah, totally.
I don't see how it makes sense. But I do feel like it's respectful. But it's also, I'm not going to go on my way to try to gender you or try to. Yeah. So it just seems kind of like moot.
Totally.
Yeah. That is very post-gender.
Yeah, unless you're talking about someone, I get it. But if you're talking indirect conversation to someone, which I think is a lot of times when people are getting misgendered or someone's using the wrong pronouns for them, it's because you're face-to-face.
Yeah.
And I've worked in the services industry for a long time. I definitely was never a hey ladies type of bartender because that's crazy. But I definitely like, what's up guys, I guess.
Yes.
But I feel like folks is where I land often.
No,
or
folks is
y'all.
Right. Yeah.
Hey y'all. And people will be like, are you from the South? And it's like, no, everyone says y'all. People say y'all.
I know.
People say y'all everywhere.
I think it makes more sense than like, hi.
Yeah. Hello, people of gender.
Yeah,
people of different genders.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just have this like not precious vibe to you that I really love. I feel like everything that you're saying is very like unprecious and it's very like relaxed in this way that I think everyone could use a healthy dose of in the community.
I'll take that.
Could you tell us a bit about how you became a hairstylist and like how long you've been doing hair?
Yeah, pretty much. I was bartending and I was over it or kind of trying to figure out what was next. And I was always doing my own hair, cutting my own hair and cutting friends' hair when they asked for it, kind of like begrudgingly. But I had a friend who just had like really gorgeous hair and she was going through something and she was like, I want you to shave my head. So I was like, all right, let's shave your head. So we shaved her head. And then like throughout her whole, like the whole year of her growing her hair back, I gave her 1 million haircuts. And I was like, this is kind of fun actually. And then at that time, I also had a friend, my best friend who I lived with was like the beauty school model for another friend's like final beauty school project or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cute. I love that that's even a thing. And so I was like, is that it? Should I just go to beauty school? And I asked like 3 people and they were like, yeah. And I was like, all right, cool.
You're like, great, that settles it.
Yeah. I asked 3 people that do hair in some fashion that were friends or like acquaintances. And they were like, yeah, you should do that. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. And I did it.
Wow. Was it like beauty school? Did you feel like you fit in there? Did you feel like you're like, I'm here to get as much knowledge as possible and then move on and not remain in this kind of like sphere?
Definitely the second one.
Yeah,
But also was like the best at it. Okay. I was like killing beauty school. I was like, first of all, none of y'all know how old I am. Everyone was like 17.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I don't need to say anything. Almost at that point, I was 29. He was 30. I had never really went to college in a real way. And I was kind of like, what is happening? Like, how am I supposed to be in school right now? Like, Monday through Friday, like 9 to 5. Real.
Wow.
I was like, this is wild to be awakened in Soho at 8 a.m.
Oh my God.
But, you know, I learned a lot.
Yeah.
And it is also kind of one of those things in New York State or every state that you just need to get your license.
Totally.
Is like beauty school, like, do they teach you how to be like creative, or is it just like you just need this certification and then you can leave?
It depends. There's really only like 3 beauty schools in New York, and they all have different but the same shit going on because who owns them, basically. So the beauty school I went to was owned by Nick Arrojo, famously from What Not to Wear.
Gorgeous.
Oh, interesting.
So I feel like because he considers himself on the cutting edge of hair doing and stuff like that, then like his school there's like more of a creative edge to it. You spend a lot of time doing hair. You learn like some razoring hair techniques, some stuff that you might not learn at the other schools.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I feel like it was a little bit of both. I feel like because of the amount of people that after a certain point in the program, you're just taking walk-ins from whoever the hell is in the street in Manhattan. Wow. So I feel like that is a big part of it. And then there's the aspect where you're just learning specific things that you're going to be like tested on during the state board exams.
Gotcha.
Whoa. Oh my God, that's so cool. I just went to trade school here in LA for like construction, and I felt so similarly. I was like with literal like 19-year-olds, and I was like, this is
I was thinking that too. I was like, what am I going to do? I was like, should I go be a carpenter? Like, that would be hot.
Oh my
God. I feel
God.
like that would be hot. But I was like, I cannot wake up in the morning like that though.
Yeah, that's real.
Carpenters get up at like 5 a.m. Like,
yep. We had a concrete pour at 4:30 in the morning.
Oh, it's crazy.
People are getting home right now.
Unless that means you go home at 6:30, then like, there's no way. Like, I couldn't do that.
Yeah, totally. But that sounds really cool. Did you ever do like an ambush makeover?
No, that's next.
Damn. Okay.
I feel like ambush makeover means you just show up and you're like, this is what's going on.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would say with some of my close friends, I've been like, what's up? You know, what's going on? What's happening here?
Yeah.
I don't feel like I have that different of a like, I think I'm pretty similar with my clients, but like they get kind of like the sweeter, softer version of that.
Oh,
right.
Really?
What's going on?
But it's still
here?
kind of like, what's going on here?
Yeah. What are
You don't
doing?
have a routine, nothing. You don't, okay. What's happening? Are you feeling, how are you feeling?
Okay?
Yeah. Because that's like, obviously not.
So funny.
Hair is deep, you know? It's deep.
Hair is super deep.
Is there a certain type of like haircut that you lean towards?
Not really. I do a lot of mullets because gays love mullets or whatever. So I think that people are like, oh my God. Like people will be like, I'm sorry, I don't want a mullet. And it's like, sorry. Like it's not, I don't have stock in mullets. Like I don't, if you don't want a mullet, that's totally fine with me. I think that I lean towards, like I feel like almost everybody needs some layers. Unless you're a real specific type of hair and you're wearing a real specific type of haircut.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I feel like everybody needs some type of layers. It doesn't have to be as extreme as a mullet.
Yeah.
But it often gets there.
Yeah. The mullet invasion is real.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Maybe you're even barely getting by making minimum payments. With credit card debt hitting record highs, National Debt Relief offers real debt relief solutions for people struggling to keep up. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy, and you may be able to pay back less than you owe, regardless of your credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe 10, 20, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living increases. To find out how much you could save, visit nationaldebtrelief.com. That's nationaldebtrelief.com.
So you're running out of closet space. The good news? You don't need to stop shopping. You just need to start selling with The RealReal. The RealReal is the world's largest and most trusted resource for authenticated luxury resale. Whether it's that mini bag that can't even fit your phone, or those boots you never fully broke in, The RealReal handles everything from photography and copywriting to shipping and pricing. So you can just sit back, get paid, and make room for things that actually feel like you. And with 10,000 plus new arrivals every single day from top designers like Prada, Celine, Louis Vuitton, and Loewe, all for up to 90% off retail, you're bound to find something perfectly on brand to fill that extra closet space with. Plus, right now, you can get an extra $100 to shop when you sell for the first time. Make room for what feels like you. Go to therealreal.com to start selling and get your extra $100 to keep shopping at therealreal.com. That's therealreal.com. Terms apply.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a good look.
It is a good look. I guess in your mind, like, what exactly is a queer haircut? I feel like right now the mullet is kind of like a universal queer cut, but what do you think is like a queer haircut?
I mean, I don't think you'd be that surprised to know, based on the earlier questions, that I don't really think that there is a queer haircut. It's whatever fucking haircut you're wearing if you're queer, and you should focus on just living your best queer life. The haircut, though,
Love that.
can help you get laid, which I feel like is big on the queer agenda, or should be, especially if you're just starting out there. You could start with fucking.
Yeah.
And like, if you have a really good haircut, that will only attract more options and opportunities for you to fulfill that quest.
Yes.
So I feel like a queer haircut's like whatever makes you look cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like when you're like a baby queer and you want to present more queerly, the first thing that people say is like, oh, just get like a queer haircut or something, or like get like a gay haircut. But I feel like something that I struggle with is like what a queer haircut means for like kinkier textured hair. I feel like going to salons that cater to kinky hair often means just like spending like $400 or something fucking crazy. So I guess I wonder if you have any specific thoughts on like what queer haircuts can look like for Black folks and like folks with kinkier textured hair specifically.
I mean, first of all, like I said, I don't think there's like any queer haircut.
Right.
And I think that when people come in and they're like, I just want to look gayer, it's like, okay, let's unpack that.
Right.
You know, what does that mean for you? Do you have examples of what that would mean for you? I think that also people want haircuts that make them feel aligned with their gender feelings of that time. And all those things are so specific and personal. So I just kind of defer to like what they're trying to say. But my thing is like you trying to get people to be specific about what they mean. If they mean they want a more masculine haircut or more feminine haircut or whatever it is that they mean, like show me some pictures, because
yes,
that's a gay boy, you know, that's a twink or whatever that you're showing me a photo of and being like a more masculine hair. So I'm kind of okay, just show me like what that means to you.
Troy
Like, you want to look like a gay.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm like, you want to look like a Victorian vampire? Okay. That's
Right.
what we can go there. And is that queer? Sure.
Yes. I love that. I love specificity.
Specificity is important. And I feel like I definitely have a lot of curly, coily, kinky folks that want to get in on the action, want to feel like they can be read as queer from a distance. My personal feelings about it, and then like what the people want, can be different things. Like my feeling about if you have the ability to have like a fro, I feel like I'm going to hit on you. So to me, I would say that's a gay hairstyle.
Right.
yeah, I don't think that if you have to shave off the side of your head and then maybe people will think you're gay or whatever.
Right.
Totally.
But like, I wouldn't say, I mean, I think that there are things that are maybe less queer within the natural hair community.
Yeah.
Like a silk press, you know? Like, that's not, you don't see that and you think, you know what?
Yes.
But unless you're Bet from Elwood, then baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I
So
do a lot. I
funny.
mean, I do a lot of curly mullets and a lot of kinky, coily mullet type situations or shorter cuts. People often feel like a shorter haircut helps them read more as queer. Or even just the act of having shorter hair for a period of time, shaving their head, of doing different things like that is so radically different from what they grew up having to do with their hair that that feels queer to them, that feels empowering to them.
Totally.
There's so many, like, just the girls in high school that wore, like, a gray hooded sweatshirt every single day. The exact same bun. Like, I'm talking about myself, but, like, you know, it's just like...
Like, I don't know that girl.
Okay, well, I know that girl. Okay, and I'm introducing her to you right now. But just, like... I had really long hair that I would straighten with a straightener until well into my 20s because I just was like, this is the script I learned. Like, this is how I do my hair. Like, I'm just able, like, and it wasn't me at all. So my first, like, shoulder length layered haircut, yes, it was a mullet. It was a shaggy mullet.
Period.
But it was just like getting out of that feeling of being like, oh, I have this one way I do my hair. It's extremely high school and I've carried it with me for so long after, but I just don't know any other way. And it feels kind of like inaccessible. So I'm like, oh yeah, that is really fun. And I do see kind of the correlation between like shorter equals gayer when you're kind of like coming from a feminine upbringing.
Right.
But it's fun to imagine a time everyone I feel like circles right on back. So it's like, yeah, how would I have like long hair and still feel like I have kind of a queer look to myself or something like that?
Oh my God, you had like hair down your butt would be crazy.
Insane.
Yeah. You could do one of those like
Absolutely.
jellyfish haircuts. Like, you know the jellyfish haircuts?
No.
Kind of like the crazy layers. Like where it's just like a bob on top and then it goes like down.
Oh, totally.
I could see you doing
Yeah,
that.
stunning, honestly. I don't think my hair texture changed so much on tea that I don't think it would be the same.
Oh, really?
Hair as
Your
I
hair
used
changed
to
on
have.
tea?
Yeah. It
Oh,
got,
interesting.
Like a lot thicker and like a little bit curly.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
There was something that you said that was interesting to me where you were like what's going on with you? And you're coming from like a bartender background, and I'm curious if there's kind of a
I never
little
did
bit
that as
of
a bartender.
No? Okay.
I don't care about these people.
Okay.
I didn't want to hear about it.
You're like, nope.
I wasn't that kind of bartender.
Okay, great. Okay. I was gonna be like, oh,
don't
was there
talk to
kind of
me.
like a, like armchair
That's
aspect?
new. Like, that's a new thing that has come to me now during the hairstyling practice.
Yeah.
Because I have kind of more of a curated clientele than like whoever the fuck walks into the bar, you know, which is, we're not doing that, you know? But I feel like if I'm doing your hair and you're queer and you're in Brooklyn and you're probably a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend, then like, let's get into it. Let's get down to it. What's going on up there?
Totally. Yeah, that's cute. It's kind of an intimate thing to have your hair done. So it's like you're already in there.
Can be.
I've never gotten my hair professionally cut, which is crazy. But I'm too scared. I don't trust anybody. I have trust issues. So I'm just constantly cutting my own hair in like the most haphazard ways. No, it's very intimate. Takes a lot of trust.
Have you ever gotten like a really bad haircut, Babette? Is that why? Or you just are like, you're worried for what could happen?
I'm worried for what could happen. And also, natural haircuts in places are like so expensive. Even a trim will run you like a few $100s or something for someone who's like trained to do your hair, I feel like. And so growing up, I was just always in braids because I was on the swim team. And so I just have always had braids. It's just more like, oh, I just go back to back in braids. Like I'll take it out. My hair will be out for like a week and then I'll go back into braids. And I think I also have just an attachment to my hair in terms of length. I really don't want to lose I'm just scared of things being bad without any rational actual fear of it. I also have not seen a haircut with my texture hair where I'm like, oh my God, that looks really amazing. And that's exactly what I want. Most of the people that I've seen kind of doing the haircuts that I like, their hair's a little looser. And I'm just like, I don't know if that's going to like be exactly my vibe. So yeah, I've just kind of lived in fear. Do you feel like you had kind of like an inspo where you're like, oh, this is exactly what I want and I'm going to pursue it?
I think because my hair is so short, I feel way less precious about it. It's like, oh, it'll just grow back. It's fine. I do like acting stuff. And so on set, I feel like hair and makeup will sometimes just like trim shit. And it's like, it's great. It's really cute. But I have a lot of friends who I feel like when it comes to like hair department on set, sometimes it's just too weird to like trust someone that you don't know would just like got hired for that job to like touch your hair. So I do understand that.
Yeah. What about you, Alys?
Who
does you hair? Do you do your own hair?
Who does you hair?
Who does you hair? Who does your hair? Sorry.
I do me own hair.
Pirate generator.
I do my own. I've always done my own hair. Yeah, I've gotten like, I want to say like 2 haircuts ever or something like that before I started doing hair. Right? Because what happens to your hair after you start, once you're in the industry or whatever, is completely different because you're surrounded by people who are doing hair. So you're always kind of letting someone mess with your hair.
You can just like trade.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Cute.
But before that, I had always gotten my hair done since I was a kid. But it was just getting my hair straightened. So that was all my knowledge of the salon. And I thought that's what they did in salons.
Me too.
I wasn't sure what white people went to salons for. If their hair was already straight. I was like, what goes on in there? You know, what do you do at a blow dry bar? Can't you blow dry your hair in the bathroom at home?
Right. And maybe that's still my question, honestly.
Yeah, I think honestly up until being in beauty school, and then that's when I was like, oh wow, you guys' hair is kind of messed up too. Like, like your shit is not all soft and smooth. Like, you guys get blowouts. White people get blowouts, and like don't wash their hair for mad long to preserve the blowout. I was like, oh my god.
Oh.
I didn't know that was happening.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, cool, bet. I got a haircut one time at this Dominican salon that was supposed to be like specializing in curls. And it was a really good ass haircut. I don't know what happened.
Wow.
But it was a good haircut. And I was like, okay, this really eats. Like, I tried to get the same haircut some years later and absolutely did not go to plan at all. I looked like an auntie. Like, I looked like I was going to church immediately after. It was terrible. And I think that taught me something, though, about like queer quote unquote hair, or like just hair that was like not aggressively heterosexual. I felt like that lady cut my hair like in a heterosexual manner. In a way that like my mother or my grandmother would love to see, you know?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my God, not this. It was funny. It was funny. I have a sense of humor about my hair because I usually cut it myself anyway. So
yeah,
I just shaved my head after that. And then that was fun.
Gorgeous. Great thing to fall back on. I feel, it's really nice to get your hair cut by someone who has like similar frame of reference for like your style or something like that. Like, do you feel like you've been someone who has converted people in that way where they're like, oh, getting my hair cut has always been so shitty and this was awesome?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I believe that.
Absolutely. I feel like people are needing language and how to fucking figure out what it is that they're trying to accomplish. And also they need to hear how they could possibly get there, some options and maybe steps. It's just like a whole process. And usually you go into the hair salon, maybe you chat a little bit and show them a picture, but you're kind of like, I don't know, you're the professional.
Yeah.
And then you kind of just like shut the hell up for the rest of it. And that's not the environment I want to have. We're doing collaboration. I'm promising you that you're going to look hotter when you leave, or else you're not leaving.
Yeah.
You're not going anywhere.
Right.
I hope you have nothing to do after this, because if we can't get there in an hour,
we're going to figure it out.
We're going to figure it out. Like, you're not leaving here. Clear the day.
Wow. I'm sold. That needs to be like a commercial segment. I'm like, yeah, let me make my appointment. Sounds good.
It's just like a hangout where we do your hair.
Love that.
Totally.
Do you have like a favorite story about helping a client feel more like confident and embodied through a haircut? Like, is there anything that comes to mind?
So just soup. I don't really have a specific. I don't know.
That's
I don't
no
have
worries.
a specific story.
It's only if something stuck out where it's like, wow, my life has been changed by this haircut.
Unfortunately, it happens a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, I believe
too
that's
many
true.
times for me to. But people say often, like, Al, this haircut changed my life.
Wow.
I became a huge slut after this haircut. And it's all because of you. You did this to me. You put me in the streets of Brooklyn like this. And I'll say, that's my fault. I made you a slut. And they're like, you did it.
Once again, excellent marketing. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess maybe one question I have is like your thoughts on other non-medical ways queer and trans folks can like feel affirmed. Do you have kind of like a relationship with tattoos and piercings and things like that as well?
Yeah, I mean, I have a bunch of tattoos. I feel like that's great. I feel like tattoos are always a good pro tattoo. I'd say pro tattoo. Recently, I was talking to a client who was like, should I cut all my hair off? And I was like, generally. But what's going on right now, you know?
Yes.
And they had lost a job opportunity and were just kind of down in the dumps. And I was like, you know, this is really a time to add. I'd get a tattoo. I would not cut all your hair off. Or you could see how you feel when you restabilize in like 2 weeks or whatever.
Yes.
Realize you hated that job, but tattoo, man, you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
I'm always like, add. You don't always have to subtract.
Ooh.
Wow.
So I'm definitely down with tattoos. I love tattoos. I love filler. I love lip filler.
Wow.
Period.
You love.
Filler's not surgery, and it is.
No, it's not.
It's great. And it lasts much longer than what they tell you, which is also why you should probably be careful with it. But I love a little lip filler. Most of the hairstylists I know also love lip filler.
My brother looks incredible. He just
We
started.
love lip filler.
Wow.
We love tooth gems.
Yes.
We love tattoos. Yeah, all of that. Facials.
Hell yeah. I love the adding and not subtracting. I love that as like an advice, as like a redirection of like, what if we didn't cut all your hair off when you're having a crisis right now? You know, I think like every hairstylist should ask the question of what's going on in your life when someone wants to shave their head.
I mean, you're making me partially responsible for this. If you're getting me involved in it, I need to see. Like, I need to know what's going on.
I need to know what's up. It's so
Give
holistic.
me the backstory, because I'm not just going to chop this all off.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people have mentioned the power of a haircut when we've talked about like people feeling kind of stuck and being like surgery's so expensive, hormones are like a whole racket, and just being like, yeah, there are ways to like alter your appearance and feel more at home. And haircut was like a big one.
I feel like I came down hard on haircuts because I'm afraid of them, but I do feel like my haircut equivalent maybe is also just like a new set of braids. Because like I can be anybody.
Absolutely.
I think that's my difference. I'm just like, I'm not, like my hair is just a thing that I'm like kind of constantly trying to protect, but I will get really fun braids. Like that's, I feel like, where my creativity more so lies. Whereas like, I'm too scared. I'm too scared to get a haircut. But I wonder if that's like, I don't know, more the queer haircut for Black folks. It's just like the endless possibilities of what we can do with our hair, kind of.
Endless possibilities.
Yeah.
And it also takes a village. You know?
It does.
It takes many people. And if you do your own trims, that's totally chill and cool.
Thank you so much.
Gender Spiral is an original podcast from Audiation. This episode was mixed by Matt Noble, and music is composed by CMD plus Jasmine, courtesy of Molten Heart, with art by Joey Hahn and graphics by Michael Tyrone Delaney.
The show is executive produced by Ireland Meacham, myself, Babette Thomas, my co-host, Allie Beardsley, and Sandy Smullins, with additional story editing from Susie Armitage.
Thanks so much to Alys Aurora. You can find them on Instagram at studio.botanicum, and you can book an appointment with them. Both of these will be in the show notes.
If you like the show, please head over to patreon.com/genderspiralpodcast to support us. You can also check us out at genderspiralpod.com, where you'll find transcripts for each episode and a link to leave us a voicemail.
And follow us on Instagram. It's at Gender Spiral. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so you don't miss a new episode. They're coming out every other week.
Audiation.